What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Terraria, in which I have no idea what we should work on now. In the previous episode, we went all the way back down to the bottom of the earth into the lava zone. We're kind of hanging out down there. I don't know if that's the wisest idea for what I should be doing right now. That's what I do in Starbound, is I just dig all the way down to the bottom, and then they make you do it all over again, and it is what it is. I don't like that little tutorial section at the beginning of Starbound where they force you to, like, I don't know, dig down to the bottom and grab, like, the random coal thing that makes your ship fly, and then you gotta do the exact same thing on another planet, but with a different, like, separately named stone. I don't know, that's one of the reasons I never am quite able to get into Starbound, is because of that extended, like, early period in the game where you're just kind of, like, waiting to finish the random storyline requirements. However, I suppose we'll just go back down to the bottom. I don't really see anything else in here for us to work on. And so down we go. I actually had to spend all night last night, not in real life, but in game, handling a blood moon. We ended up having a big-ass blood moon. You know, the druid is really, really useful for blood moon. Wow. She put an AoE around our base that killed, like, everything. It was like this little shield of, like, feathers or leaves or something. I don't know. Either way, it dealt damage to anything that was inside of it, and it wiped out hella zombies. I was like, damn, son, you were a zombie-killing machine. Slow down, m'lady. Let's see what's going on over here. What does this guy have? You got anything for me? You got them rocket boots. That's what I was feeling. I was feeling some rocket boots. But yeah, let's get some Rocket Sea Intrepid rocket boots that give me melee speed. Okay, so do I just equip these like anything else, or like how does this help me? We got our little flame thing right there. I don't really care about the radar. It's a cool item, but I would rather have rocket boots. How do I make the rocket boots function? Oh shit, we got like skeletons and all kinds of craziness going on right now. I need to find like a test area that I can do this in. I bet it's just like the double jump maybe. Maybe I can get rid of my fart and... Oh, that was so what's up? Yeah. So how does that work? Do you just press... How do you get that to work? Oh, you hit it again after your double jump, and then it gives you a third jump. Hell yeah, okay. So that's the stuff right there. But you got triple jump now. Eat your heart out, Mega Man. I don't think Mega Man... Did Mega Man ever get double jump? Yeah, he did. Mega Man had double jump at some point, right? It's been a long time since I played Mega Man, to be honest. I got Mega Man X, though. A friend of mine sold me his SNES because I wanted to start collecting SNES games, too, on top of... I already talked about that in a previous episode, how I wanted to collect Genesis games, and I do. I have a huge Genesis collection. But I wanted to start collecting Super Nintendo games as well after I got done with the Genesis. And while that's a little ways off, it's never too soon to start, like, isolating the various hardware you're going to need in order to do it, especially since my friend gave me a great deal on it. I felt bad. He sold it to me for 50 bucks, along with, like, Turtles in Time. No, not Turtles in Time. The side-scrolling beat-em-up. Is that Turtles in Time? Mortal Kombat 2, Mega Man X, Mario Kart, like a bunch of games, like the 50 bucks. I looked it up on eBay and on Amazon, and I was like, wow, I felt bad. Like, he gave me a really, really good deal. It's okay, though. I squared away with him the next day. I gave him a couple little presents of my own, just to let him know that he'd given me a good deal, because I don't like to do shit like that, especially not to your friends. Don't treat your friends like that. If your friend gives you a super good deal and he doesn't know you gave him... or he doesn't know he gave you a super good deal, you should probably tell him and be like, listen, man, I'll give you more money if you want. We've been friends for a long time. I'm just saying, I looked it up on the internet, and the stuff you sold me is worth way more than I paid for it. Anyways, so that being said, I've got a Super Nintendo, and I played the hell out of the point of this entire story. I'm getting there, don't worry. It's a lengthy story that's leading nowhere. Don't worry about that. It's a lengthy story, and the culmination is not going to be as, well... I was going to say orgasmic, I guess, but I don't think that's the word that I want to use either. I've been saying that a lot lately. That's not the word I want to use. I mean, it would work. It would work. But what I'm saying is the culmination of the story is not nearly so interesting as I'm sort of implying by making it take forever. So anyways, it's kind of dark right now. Let's put down a torch. There we go. What's inside that room over there? More batties? I want to go take a look. There should be... I thought there was some kind of, like, ore down here at some point. Like, down in the lava layer, I remember there being some kind of, like, hellfire ore or something like that that you could get. Because if you made a sword out of it, it gave you, like, a big buster sword. I remember that. It was like a big lava buster sword, and it was my favorite. But anyways, as I was saying with the Super Nintendo, I wanted to start collecting them, and I got Mega Man X when I bought the Super Nintendo for my friend. And so, I had to fix the Super Nintendo. It was kind of busted. The contacts inside of, you know how kids are. Like, he's had that Super Nintendo since he was like 10 years old. And so anyways, you know how kids are where like they push harder on things than they should, or they just like, they don't know how to control their own strength when they put a cartridge inside of a Super Nintendo. They're a little bit rough with it. The contact in there where the cartridge sits down into the system was loose, and so I had to disassemble it and fix that. And ultimately, I ended up getting another Super Nintendo too, just because his was really, really yellowed. Like, he had left it. It was one of the early runs. Initially, in one of the early runs of the Super Nintendo, when they mixed the paint or the plastic, it had like a random free elemental agent in there. And I mean like chemistry elements. I don't mean that by like there's a fire elemental inside your Super Nintendo. No, there's like a random element in there. I forget which one it was, but when it oxidizes, it turns yellow. And then they realized it, and all the Super Nintendos after that don't use that particular element inside them. It's like a purer version of the paint/plastic. And so anyways, that's why older Super Nintendos from later on, the Nintendos that are like 2nd or 3rd gen, they don't yellow out, but the earlier ones do. And so his was super, super yellowed out. And I was going to put it on my shelf and everything. I'm the sort of person that cares about that kind of shit. So I fixed his, and it's like sitting, I've got both the Super Nintendos on my little gaming cabinet right now, but it's super yellowed out. And so I ended up just buying another one that I got from another guy here in town that was like perfect. Like seriously, it looked like it had been sitting in a box for like the last 25 years. And so I grabbed his too. So I have 2 Super Nintendos right now, technically. I mean, I've got a Turbo Graphics around somewhere too. I love video game collecting. I really sincerely do think that video games are kind of like one of those underappreciated things. Like, as of right now, they're just starting to get attention as like an art form. But for the longest time, nobody would admit, there's like a pillar over here, nobody would admit that video games were like a work of art. And so anyways, now that we've gotten older and like my entire generation has grown up, like those of us that started out with Ataris, like we're finally getting to that age where we can influence like public perception and be like, no, this is an art form, like, and all the people that said that it wasn't are kind of dying off or whatever. It's nice to, I want to collect things because I want there to be something to like show. I don't know if I'm ever going to have kids or anything like that, but what I'm saying is I want to have like a collection that I can show to people someday and be like, yeah, this was like the shit when I was a kid, when I'm like 40 or 50 or 60, you know what I mean? Like this was like the coolest thing ever when I was a kid. And also I just enjoy old gaming systems, I really do. There's something about that magic of like back in the day, and it's not just nostalgia for me, it's partially nostalgia. But I think gaming was a lot more innocent back then, like it hadn't quite found itself yet. Like nowadays gaming is very much like big business, and a lot of the real sort of novel, like cutesy things that you get from the industry are going to come from indie gaming or whatever. And I like that, but at the same time, there's sort of like an innocence that you can't get back anymore from those older game systems where they took a lot more risks back then. Like they played around, like obviously everything was a platformer back then, and they didn't take a whole lot of risks with regards to the genres they were creating. But they took risks, and they had weird games back then that you could dig up, and there was some like very odd concepts that they were toying around with. And it's always fun for me to watch the development of just game development, you know, like watching how it changes and like how the mindset changes for how you should create a game and like what's acceptable. I don't know. I just love gaming and all things encompassed by it, always have and always will. I actually think it's probably the passion of my life, and it's something that I'm glad that it's like, it's kind of a mixed bag for me right now. Kind of a mixed bag for me because sometimes I get my grumpy old man hat on, and I think it's bullshit that like everybody likes gaming now, because when I was younger, kids made fun of you for playing video games and shit. Like when I was a kid, if you played video games, people thought you were weird, and your parents were like, yeah, he doesn't get out much, and your parents were like embarrassed by you because you're always in the house playing video games and like messing around with electronics and stuff. And so I can remember my parents made me play sports. I didn't like necessarily love sports, but my parents made me play them because they thought it was good for like self-esteem, and it was good for making friends. And they were right. I had lots of friends from my sports teams and whatnot. But had I been given a choice, I would have just stayed in the house and played video games all day, every day, which is basically what I did all summer, every summer, once I got out of school. But, you know, when I was a kid, people used to, like, make fun of you, and you get your ass kicked for wearing a Star Wars shirt. Nowadays, everybody's got, like, nerd shirts everywhere. It's much more accepted, I suppose. It's just kind of weird. And I think there's, like, that old man reflex to be like, well, because I got my ass kicked for being a nerd, everybody should get their ass kicked for being a nerd. But no, I'm actually pretty happy that gaming is a more accepted thing right now, because it sucked having parents that were just like, you should not play any more video. What is that? What did he just drop? A javelin? That's a thing? You can get a javelin? Oh, that's badass. What is that over there? I want this. Is it iron? Yeah, it's iron. I don't care about that. What is this? This little sooty thing over here. Is that just like soot, or does that collapse like sand like everything else does? It's pretty cool, though, that gaming is like a worldwide thing right now. I think there's always that natural human inclination to want it to be like all yours and to like exclude other people. Like, no, this is my thing. But it's pretty cool. I like the fact that like kids nowadays can play video games and not have people be like, you're a nerd, dude. You play video games? Oh my god. Because that's how it was when I was a kid. I don't know. Video games were still like weird when I was a kid. I do still want this gold because I'm going to make gold armor sets, and I may build a house out of gold at some point. I'm not an extravagant person in real life. I like to live humbly, I suppose. I don't know. I've never understood why somebody, like, for example, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I've never understood why anybody needs, like, a yacht, or why anybody needs, like, a Rolls Royce. It's just, like, greed and, like, overspending for the sake of overspending. Like, it's a nice car, yeah, but a Rolls Royce is not, like, $1 million worth of nice. Like, It just seems like a waste of money to me. Like, I don't get why somebody would waste that amount of money on something like that. And the answer is obviously because they can. But even so, like, give the money to charity or something. Jesus. Spend that much on a car for yourself that you're probably not even going to drive. You just have your chauffeur drive it or whatever. It just seems like extravagance for extravagance, like extravagance's sake. Like, there's no real reasoning behind it except for the fact that you want to, like, keep up with the other Rich Joneses, I guess. I don't know. But in-game, I don't have these qualms. In-game, I'll be like, let's spend some money and make ourselves a gold house because we want to make all the monsters jealous and be like, I'm straight ballin'. It'll be awesome. I would like to put this down right here. So what do we do next? Out of curiosity, it is really dark down here. And the granite layer didn't used to exist the last time that I played the game. So this is all a little bit odd. Oh, good. We have a back wall now. That's good. Ooh, that's worrying. Okay. Is he losing health from being in the lava? Really? He's lava-proof. What's that like? That's like, you better check your privilege, lava worm. You better check your privilege. Some of us don't get to be in lava. We don't have lava privilege like you. In fact, I'm going to give you laser privilege right now because I don't have lava privilege and it makes me jealous. I've lost health, so I need to grab some of these hearts over here. I'm going to put in some torches on the back walls, but it's really hard to see in this What is that? There's like an extra ladder sit? What is that? Hold on. I need to go look at this right now. And I should be able to... Yeah, it looks like they started to build a house in here or something, or like it's a railroad tie or something like that. I don't know. Either way, swimming with the lava. That song always reminds me of carnival rides. Because, like, they always... I don't know what it is about carnival rides, but carnival rides always have, like, old 70s and 80s rock. Like, blazing. Like, super loud before you get on any of the rides. And I've never understood why that's, like, an association that people make. Like, old, like, Foreigner rock, essentially. I love Foreigner, by the way. I'm not talking ill of Foreigner. I'm not speaking ill of Foreigner. They're my favorite actual old band. I really, really like Foreigner. That's probably my mom's fault, because my mom is a giant Foreigner fan. My mom loves Foreigner and AC/DC. Those are her like, two favorite rock bands or whatever. My dad was into Queen. That's what it was. My dad really, really, really likes Queen, even to this day. Like, Queen, I think you couldn't be his age in the 70s without being, like, really into... We got an arcane depth meter out of there. What do I need an arcane? I mean, can't we just have, like, a scientific depth meter? Why do we have to bring witchcraft into this and supernaturalness? We already have working depth meters. Why does ours have to be arcane? Oh, shit. You know, I do have a grappling hook that I could use to better effect here. I want to shoot some bats real fast before they get any closer. We got to decide what we want to do with this. Does that lava count right there? That lava fall? Okay, so that doesn't count. And since it doesn't count, my estimation would be that since it doesn't count, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a lava fall right here. And that's just going to make my life a little bit easier. Oh, I'm stuck inside of a wall. That's never happened before. Weird. I got a lightsaber, by the way. Did I make the lightsaber on camera, or was it just like one of those things that I showed up at the beginning of the episode and I had one? Whatever. Either way, let's dig through some granitic stone right here. Dem granitoids, that's like 80% of your college career in geology. If you're going to be playing around with geology, you're going to be looking at some granitoids for the rest of your life. Have fun with that. You like granodiorite and diorite and all those random granitoid variants. And it all comes down to chemical constituencies too. Does it have more potassium in it? Does it have more K-spar? Does it have more... That's pretty much what it comes down to. Does it have more K-spar? Does it have more quartz? That's how you know what kind of granite you're going to get out. I mean, if you wanted to be just broad-handed, you could call them all granite. Just be like, man, you don't own me. That's perfectly acceptable. I wouldn't call you on it. I don't care enough. Ow! Bernie plants a fire booty. No! Stop it. Why are you the way that you are? Stop it. I'm going to hit this thing with a lightsaber to make myself feel better. Yeah, get Mace Windude. So it looks like the ground doesn't actually hurt me. It's these little plants that are down in here. Little bastards. It looks like they started to make like one of the... Never mind, that's just the background stone right there. I don't know exactly... Should I dig downwards? I think I should probably dig downwards, right? Let's go downwards. I'm just going to keep this thing going. If we hit the bottom layer, we hit the bottom layer. I assume that it just turns into a giant lava lake eventually once you get down there. It looks like we do have something pretty cool over on the left. And so once we get down to dirt blocks, I may... Oh shit, there's a hole right here. No, stop it! Oh, we got a cave bat banner. When did they add all those in? Because the banners didn't exist when I played the game at release. And I haven't played the game in a really, really long time. And so I like the fact that they give you banners all the time for killing things like every 50. I don't know. It's a minor collection thing that you can get. You can make like a bat hall that has all bat banners in it and stuff like that. Make like thematic areas that are all color-coded by the banners that you have, but they look cooler than just the single-coded. That pot must be the most nervous pot in the entire universe. Just any moment that dirt's going to fall out from under him, he's going to become a lava pot. Like, ah, this stings so much. What is that? Damn, you ugly. Oh my god. Is that a Medusa? What just happened here? Oh my god. Okay, so apparently we've got Gorgon problems. That's not good. Well, in that case, maybe I'll just go boop, 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 boop. There we go. I'm just going to save myself. That's the sound of me saving myself. I go boop, 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 and then it seems to work out okay. I don't know. Whenever you save yourself, you should come up with a catchphrase too. I bet it'll be fun. I bet you'll enjoy it. You'll be like, boop, 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 boop. Just making noises and shit. I wasn't a noisy child. People always assume that. They're like, so were you just like super obnoxious when you were a kid? Actually, I was really quiet. I'm really quiet in real life too. This is the only time, like, something about like making videos on the internet makes me talkative. Yeah, I think these are minecart rails. I think there might be like a mine biome over here. Where are you in mine biome? Let's see. We've got like a I'm Spartacus. No, he hit me with a javelin. That was painful. Why would you do such a horrible thing? Oh, wait, what's going on here? Because I'm telling you to shoot a spider web over to there so that I can laser him to death. Javelin versus laser. The endless struggle throughout history. You remember that part, right, where the Gauls invaded Rome with lasers, and there was actually like some great philosophical thought about whether they should be using lasers or javelins. This is a real thing that happened. You can look it up. Anyways, I think lasers came out on top at the end. I don't know. I slept through history class most of the time. Either way, let's put this right. Oh, we have a back wall. That makes me pretty happy. No, Gorgon! Oh, she got me from so far away. So can I, like... Okay, it looks like if I spam keys, I get out faster or something. I don't know that for certain, though. I mean, this is sort of like having my own portable Tanuki suit. Like, who doesn't love the Tanuki suit? Tanuki suit is the best thing that Mario ever invented. Not for any particular reason. It's just that the Tanuki suit is the shit. It's the ultimate in deniability. It precludes Mario from having any responsibility from his actions, and you just get to turn into stone and ignore your problems. That seems like the suit for me, if I was going to talk about it. I'm like, well, I could jump on this mob and, like, exert myself and accomplish something, or B, I could just turn into a stone statue and pretend like bad things aren't happening right now and go, ah la 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 la. I would like for you to die right now. There we go. All nice and dead. Very dead. You are dead, and that is what you deserve. I could be picking up this mine track if I wanted to, but I'm lazy as hell, and I don't feel like it right now. But I don't wanna. It looks like I can't, so if I have a minecart in my inventory, I assume that, Skeleton, you are just not the brightest. You are not the brightest bumpkin in the lot, are you? Alright, so let's go. I'm gonna put some torches in. It's so damn dark. So I think those are end of the line stops for the rail. I assume that eventually we're gonna get down to something lucrative here. The monsters are getting nastier and more capable of murder. Shoot him with the laser! Shoot him with the laser! We must stop the Romans with lasers. Please don't do that. Oh, that was a terrible decision. I know that I have rocket boots and that I'm temporarily impervious to fire, but that doesn't mean I want to test my luck here. Can I get Roman armor off of those guys? That would be badass. I want a Roman helmet super bad. I need to put in a torch too because I can't see. You'd think, given all the flammability around me, you know, all the random conflagrations that comprise this place, that at some point I would just be able to see due to the ambient light, but nope. The ambient light does not like me. Ambient light, for those of you that don't know, is essentially the tendency for people to turn on light switches and forget about it when they're on Ambien. So there you go, it's ambient lighting. It is what it is. Ambien is a very, very strange thing. I had a girlfriend that was prescribed Ambien because she couldn't sleep. She was an insomniac like myself. I try to stay away from that kind of stuff because it's all addictive, and honestly, I just don't trust the long-term effects. If I get really desperate, I might try to grab one every now and again, but that's only if I've been up for like 2 or 3 days due to my insomnia, and that doesn't happen very often. Luckily, it used to happen all the time in college because when I don't sleep, it's always stress-induced. It means that I'm going through like a super stressful time in my life. I think we hit a dead end over here, unless there's something right there. A little bit risky to go after it, though. I think I might be able to hook shot over there. But it's like one of those, oh, and the wizard's going to show up right now, isn't he? Yep. Okay, so let's just go for it. Platforming skills activate! So he's just going to shoot stuff at me while I try desperately to not be near him. He's going to teleport into that little cave over there, too. I need weapons that go through walls like this dude. See, he's got it figured out. He's got it figured out. This dude knows what's up. If I could only just get in here to murder you, I think this would go a lot better. I don't relish the thought of being murdered by a random cave wizard, but I think I can block your attacks with my pickaxe. I think. Oh, you're in my world now, Tim. You're in my world. Enjoy that shit. That's what. Oh, wizard hat. We got a wizard. You're a wizard, Splatter. All right, so we're gonna be. I've been watching Harry Potter on the side. Can you tell? I just got done with Half-Blood Prince. I need to read the books, but I'm so bad at reading. Like I never get around to it. When I was a kid, I was just a voracious reader. My mom always says this whenever like her younger friends or like now it's kind of like her friends' kids ask for advice raising kids because I guess people do that. We get increased magic damage. I think that our laser counts as magic damage. I think because it drains our mana, right? So by that token, oh, but it won't be free anymore. Well, fine then. I'm just gonna put on a wizard hat. I'm just going to wear a wizard hat and hope that it puts me into Gryffindor because I noticed this when I was watching Harry Potter. Nothing good happens to any of the other schools. Like, all of the other schools are just like placeholders. Like, who gives a shit about Hufflepuff? Nobody. They never talk about Hufflepuff, and it's lame. If I was in Hufflepuff, I would want them to talk about me, but everything is all Slytherin and Gryffindor. So the second, like, if you went in to get the sorting hat, the second they're like, you're in Hufflepuff, you're just like, shit, I am never going to be a part of any storyline. I'm not going to matter ever. I'm just going to be that guy off in the background walking to class while the people in Slytherin and Gryffindor get to do all of the adventures. That's pretty... What the hell is that? Oh, it's a Shelly. Okay. I thought it was like some kind of weird crawling fire goo. I got worried for a minute. I was like, sentient fire goos were not in the brochure for this adventure. I did not see them in there. The brochure. I always thought that that's what they should call it at every gym, like their little like thing where they try and get you to subscribe to the gym. Like it's like a little pamphlet they give you that tells you all the bonuses that you get. I always thought they should call that the brochure, like bro-sure. I don't know, it's funny to me because I'm kind of I wouldn't say that I'm like a gym bro, but I do enjoy going to the gym a lot. Like it's a major part of my day. Like if I don't go and work out, I feel guilty for the rest of the day. I feel like really, really guilty. And it's one of those things that builds up over time, too. So since we've plumbed this cave down to its depths, I think that maybe... Let me see what we can do over here. I like these goblin boots, by the way. I like these boots. I like how we can just walk in a river of fire right now, and that doesn't affect us. It's only being submersed in more than knee-high lava that affects us. Apparently our boots are lava-proof. Jump up into here right now, and actually we're pretty lucky that we get that lava charm so early on too, because I remember playing the game and trying to fish it out of the loot tables before, and it can be troublesome to get, and if you don't get it, this entire area is essentially like a 100% you're going to lose all of your gear the second you die type area. It becomes very hardcore in nature. I'm going to continue digging. What am I fighting with right now? Oh, it's one of those little... Here, I'm going to lightsaber you. Get out of here. Anyways, I think I'm going to break the episode off right here. I'm going to continue digging downwards and then off to the right a little bit to avoid some of these weird little lava caverns that are in here. I don't think that any longer we need to use platforms because I've got the shoes that allow me to grip to the walls and I have like 5 of them. So there's no risk in me like not being able to get back down here if I die. I can just throw on more crampons and we'll be good to go. My name is Splattercat. This is Terraria 1.3. I don't really know what our next goal is at this point. I should probably go and look up like a progression table on what you should be working on in Terraria after you get done with the Eater of Worlds. But I haven't done it yet. I also think we should go explore the snow biome because that seemed to be pretty forthcoming with the loot as well. And then off to the left, we've got the ocean underwater biome, but I'd really like to wait until we have like water-breathing accessories to go over there just to make sure accidents don't happen because I'm bad at counting and paying attention to meters on the screen, as you learn from my Stalker playthrough. So anyways, I'll see y'all later. Hi to everybody.